You know, an example that's worth giving is, you know, for a long period of time, it was like terrible to be a mezzanine investor because senior lenders like BDCs from, call it, 2013 to 2017 would lend you like 7, 8 times EBITDA. And so as a PE firm, you could take huge advantage of that attractive senior debt, and there was very little opportunity for mezzanine debt lenders. So as a mezzanine lender, all you could do was try to find the best mezzanine deals available. So you'd end up lending to riskier companies that couldn't get as much debt, or couldn't get debt from these senior lenders. You'd end up going much deeper in the capital structure, arguably basically providing equity, but only getting debt returns. And so, you know, to me, that's a perfect example of why being able to move around in the capital structure is an advantage, because you can identify that, hey, there's no good mezz opportunities right now. I'd much rather be a senior lender, or I'd much rather be the equity and take advantage as a borrower of all this debt that's available. So that's a pivot, for example, that our team at Macquarie made, you know, really hard in the kind of 2015, 2016 timeframe. We moved way away from doing senior lending and much more oriented towards equity because of how hot and frothy we thought the debt markets were. And you can make the same case for sector-focused funds. You know, funds that you know, only do technology or only do infrastructure or only do healthcare. Well, you know, right now, healthcare and like software investing are really challenging because the multiples have, you know, just been through the roof for 4, 5, 6, 7 years now. And it just becomes that much harder. So if you're more of a generalist investor, it gives you an opportunity to, you know, to maybe have learned something from spending time in software, spending time in healthcare, but to be able to pivot away and say, hey, you know, software is really hot, but like people aren't paying attention to, I don't know, industrial technology or something like that. So that's my point of view. Somebody could easily argue the opposite and say, you've got to be sector focused. You've got to be, you know, because otherwise you don't know what you're doing, and it's hard to find an advantage. It's hard to find an edge if you're just a generalist, or as people in the hedge fund industry like to say, if you're just a tourist. So I think you could argue both sides of what I just said, but I mean, you know, my point of view is colored by my experience.